Hello friends, this is Faizan. Today we are going to discuss about central limit theorem. As you all know, in today's world, data is the new oil. Especially after digital revolution, data is everywhere. But how many types of data are there? Before our discussion about central limit theorem, we will quickly review types of data. There are two major types of data, categorical data and numerical data. Categorical data is the type of data consisting of categorical variables, for example, weather check. Numerical data is a type of data that express number rather than natural language description, sometimes called quantitative data. It is always in number form. Furthermore, in numerical data there are two major types. First one discrete and second one continuous. Discrete data is the data that have certain number of values, for example number of people in a room. Secondly, continuous is the data that take any value, height, stock price and exchange rate. To analyze categorical data we have qualitative analysis like SWOT analysis is a famous example used widely. And for numerical data we have quantitative analysis like cost benefit analysis. If we look timeline of the qualitative and quantitative analysis, in ancient time people used to draw pictures to express their experiences. But nowadays number of likes on a picture in a social media platform could predict customer preferences and it used for marketing tool. Similarly, if we discuss about quantitative analysis, in ancient time people used abacus to perform simple calculation. Nowadays we are having artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. So friend, now come to our topic. The central limit theorem states that if you have a population with mean and standard deviation and take sufficiently large random samples from the population with replacement, then the distribution of the sample means will be approximately normally distributed. In short, greater the sample size, the better is the approximation. Like if you want to analyze customer preferences for your new product, but it is really difficult to analyze whole population for your target audience, right? Concept of central limit theorem will help you out in this regard. Suppose you have gathered 20 group data from different social media sites to analyze customer preferences, but don't you think your data is too short for your analysis? As per central limit theorem, greater the sample size, the better is the approximation. In this particular example, your normal distribution is the place where most of the customer like particular product at most. This piece of information would be a bullseye to score for any investor. Let's take a deep look to find out application of central limit theorem. We will try to find out relationship between theoretical and observed probabilities with the help of increasing the size of sample. Suppose we have 6 random numbers and the chance of occurrence of every 6 number is 0.16 theoretically. But in reality we have 3 sample sizes to compare with. First one consists of 200 random number sample size. Here bin represent interval, frequency represent count of interval in the sample size, and observed probability represent relative frequency, which is frequency divided by total size of samples. By taking 200 random numbers, our histogram doesn't show bell-shaped normal distribution. But by increasing the sample size from 200 to 400, we could not get bell-shaped normal distribution as well. But when sample size reaches at 800, histogram shows bell-shaped normal distribution and our observed probability approaches to theoretical probability. It means as the number of trials are increasing, the observed probability approaches to theoretical probability. Graphs show the relationship as the number of sample size increasing, the observed probability approaches to theoretical probability. To apply central limit theorem concept in financial sector, we can take different sample size of stock prices, exchange rate, etc. Actually, we will try to find out, does it really work? We took past 31 years of monthly exchange rate in total. Initially, we took sample size of 8 years and 3 months exchange rate data, which is almost 100 months exchange rate. But our histogram is not showing bell-shaped normal distribution. Second time, we had sample of 16 years and 6 months, which is almost 200 months exchange data. Gradually our histogram is getting shape of normal distribution, and at last when we took sample of 31 years monthly exchange rate data, the shape of histogram shows perfect bell-shaped normal distribution. What does it mean? It means in 31 years of monthly exchange rate data, exchange rate is mostly in between 34.35 to 40.74. By this piece of information, trader could execute good entry point. It will give idea where to buy and where to sell. Similarly, intraday trader can take half hourly exchange rate and do the same experiment. I hope by using center limit theorem concept, they will have a smart speculation in their portfolio. Finally, center limit theorem is useful when examining the return of an individual stock or broader indices, because analysis is simple due to the relative ease of generating the necessary financial data. Consequently, investors of all types rely on center limit theorem to analyze stock returns, construct portfolio, and manage risk. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.